Have you ever found yourself standing in the middle of your living room, wondering, am I doing enough to stay healthy? Maybe you've already got into the habit of taking a daily walk, around the block, at the mall, maybe even through your garden. Or perhaps you've heard someone mention strength training and you're thinking, is that something I should be doing at my age? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. It's a common question for so many of us over 60. We want to stay strong, active, and independent. But there's so much information out there, it's easy to feel a little lost. Should you be walking more, lifting weights, doing both? And most importantly, what's actually better for you now? In this video, we're going to gently walk through this question together. No pressure, no complicated routines, just honest, practical guidance to help you feel more confident about the choices you're making for your body and your well-being. Now, let's start with the good news. The fact that you're even thinking about movement and staying active means you're already on the right path. Staying active after 60 isn't about pushing yourself to extremes. It's about finding the right rhythm that supports your strength, your balance, and your happiness. Let's talk about walking first, because it's often the most natural and familiar form of exercise. Walking is wonderful. It's easy on the joints, doesn't require any equipment, and can be done just about anywhere. It gets your blood flowing, improves circulation, boosts your mood, and helps keep your heart in good shape. And there's something therapeutic about it, too. Just a simple act of getting outside, breathing the fresh air, and feeling the ground beneath your feet can be incredibly grounding. Many people over 60 find that walking becomes their go-to form of movement, especially if they've experienced injuries or joint discomfort. And that makes total sense. It's low impact, it helps with mobility, and it can easily become a calming daily ritual. But here's where it gets interesting. While walking is fantastic for your heart and mental health, it doesn't do much for something that becomes more and more important as we age, your muscle strength. Now I know the word strength training might sound intimidating. You might be picturing heavy weights or sweaty gyms filled with 20-year-olds. But strength training doesn't have to be any of that. In fact, for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, it's really about simple, targeted movements that help preserve the muscle you already have and gently build what might have been lost over time. Here's something not everyone talks about. After the age of 30, we naturally begin to lose muscle mass. Slowly at first, but by the time we reach our 60s, this loss can start to impact how we live our daily lives. Things like climbing stairs, getting up from a chair, carrying groceries, or even keeping your balance, they all depend on having strong muscles. That's why strength training becomes so important after 60. It helps maintain and even improve muscle mass, which is closely tied to independence and quality of life. It's not just about looking fit. It's about staying functional, being able to move confidently without pain or fear of falling. That's real strength. And you don't need to lift anything heavier than a soup can get started. Simple exercises using your own body weight, like standing up and sitting down from a chair without using your hands, can work wonders. Gentle resistance bands, small hand weights, or even wall push-ups done in the comfort of your home can help wake those muscles up and remind your body, hey, we're still strong. We've still got this. Another thing to consider is bone health. Strength training actually helps stimulate bone growth, which is especially helpful in preventing or slowing down osteoporosis. While walking helps to some degree, strength training has been shown to be more effective at building and maintaining bone density. But here's where the magic happens. It's not really about choosing one over the other. Walking and strength training each serve a different purpose, and when combined, they create a well-rounded approach to fitness that supports your whole body. One keeps your heart pumping and your mind clear. The other keeps your muscles strong and your body stable. Still, if you're someone who's only been walking and you've never tried strength training, it might feel a little overwhelming to add something new. That's perfectly normal. But think of it like this. Just like walking became a habit over time, strength training can too. You don't have to do it all at once. And you don't need to spend hours doing it. Even a few minutes a couple of times a week can start to make a difference. And you know what else happens when you begin adding in a little bit of strength training? You start to notice that your walking gets easier. Your legs feel stronger. Your balance improves. You might even stand taller. That's because your muscles are doing their job more effectively. They're supporting you the way they're meant to. Now that we've talked about the heart and muscle connection, it's also worth mentioning that strength training can have a surprising impact on how you feel emotionally. There's something really empowering about knowing you're building strength, even later in life. It gives you a sense of control of progress, and that's incredibly valuable. Let's be honest, aging comes with its fair share of changes. But what doesn't have to change is your sense of capability. With just a little effort, you can feel stronger, steadier, and more energized than you have in years. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about giving yourself permission to try. So, whether you've been walking for years or you're just starting to explore ways to stay active, you're already doing something wonderful for yourself. And if you've been curious about strength training but haven't taken that first step yet, maybe this is a gentle nudge you've been waiting for. Now, you might be thinking, all right, I get it. Strength training is important, but how do I actually do it? I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder. I just want to feel good, stay active, and maybe even ease some of these aches and pains. That's exactly the right mindset. Strength training after 60 is not about pushing your limits. It's about protecting your independence. And the good news? You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership to get started. In fact, some of the best movements can be done right in your living room with nothing more than a sturdy chair and your own body. Think about how many times a day you sit down and stand up. Every time you rise from a chair without using your hands, you're actually performing a strength-building movement. Those little moments throughout your day are golden opportunities. And when you repeat those movements with intention, even just a few times a day, you're training your body to stay strong. Now, here's a surprising benefit many people don't expect from strength training. It can actually help relieve chronic pain. I've spoken with so many people who live with knee pain, back discomfort, or even arthritis flare-ups, only to discover that light strength work helps reduce those issues over time. When your muscles are stronger, they take pressure off your joints. Your posture improves. Your movements become smoother. And suddenly, you're not waking up with the same aches you used to. That's powerful. Of course, let's not forget about balance. One of the scariest parts of aging for many people is the fear of falling. And rightly so. Falls can lead to serious injuries, and recovery gets harder the older we get. But here's the silver lining. Both walking and strength training can help improve balance, just in different ways. Walking keeps your legs moving and supports coordination. But strength training, especially when it targets your core and lower body, helps you stay stable when you're standing still, reaching for something, or navigating uneven surfaces. Even just standing on one foot while holding onto the back of a chair can begin to train your balance, or slowly rising up on your toes and lowering down again. These tiny exercises seem simple, but over time, they can make a huge difference. Think of it as giving your body the tools it needs to catch itself if you ever stumble. Let's talk motivation for a moment, because no matter how good something is for you, it still takes a bit of willpower to build it into your routine. Some people find it easier to stay motivated when they're walking, especially if they have a favorite route, a walking buddy, or a great playlist. And that's fantastic. Anything that gets you moving is worth celebrating. But here's a little tip. If you already have a walking habit, you can piggyback on that momentum to build in a short strength session. Maybe after your walk, you spend 5 minutes doing some wall push-ups or seated leg lifts. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just let it be a natural extension of what you're already doing. And here's the thing, once you start feeling the benefits, even small ones, it becomes easier to stick with it. You might notice you're getting up from the couch more easily, or carrying that grocery bag with less strain. These little wins build confidence. They remind you that your body is still capable of change, even now, especially now. One thing that often gets overlooked is how both walking and strength training can support your mental health. Walking, especially outdoors, is wonderful for clearing your mind. It gives you a change of scenery, a chance to connect with nature, and a boost of those feel-good endorphins. Sometimes a simple 15-minute walk can be the best medicine for a low mood or restless mind. On the flip side, strength training can give you a sense of purpose and accomplishment. There's something empowering about setting a goal, no matter how small, and seeing yourself reach it. That quiet moment when you finish a short set of exercises and realize, hey, I did that. It might not seem like much at first, but those moments add up. They fuel your confidence. They help you stand taller, both physically and emotionally. Another thing to remember is that variety helps keep your body engaged. Doing the same movement every day can cause certain muscles to get stronger while others are neglected. That's why blending walking and strength training creates a kind of harmony in your body. They complement each other. If you're walking regularly, you're giving your heart and lungs a workout. But when you add in strength training, you're also supporting your joints, bones, and muscles. It's like giving your body a full tune-up. Every part working together, not just one area. Now, you might be wondering, do I have to pick one over the other? Not at all. This isn't competition between walking and strength training. It's more like a partnership. They work better when they're together. The real key is finding what feels good for you. Some people love walking in the morning and doing a few strength exercises in the evening while watching TV. Others might set aside 20 minutes a couple of days a week to focus just on strength movements. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here. The best routine is the one you'll actually stick with. And please, don't be discouraged if you start slow. That's how everyone begins. What matters most is consistency. A little bit done regularly will always outshine a lot done once in a while. You're not behind. You're not late. You're exactly where you need to be. And starting now is a beautiful thing. You deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel confident when you move. And whether that comes from a peaceful walk around your neighborhood or a few minutes of strength building at home, it's all moving you in the right direction. Now, there's something really powerful that happens when you stop comparing and start combining. You don't have to choose between walking and strength training. They're both valuable, and each brings something unique to the table. But what's even better? When you bring them together in a way that fits your life and your body, you create a lifestyle that supports long-term health, independence, and happiness. Let's take a moment to talk about the long game, because at this stage of life, it's not about getting six-pack abs or breaking records at the gym. It's about staying independent. It's about bending down to tie your shoes without strain. It's about carrying groceries without hurting your back or confidently walking up a flight of stairs. These everyday tasks are where your real strength shows up, and that's where your effort pays off. And here's the truth. Your body is always listening. It doesn't care if you're 65 or 85. It responds to movement, challenge, and care. Muscles can still grow. Balance can still improve. Energy can still increase. It may happen more gradually than it did in your younger years, but progress is always possible. And honestly, that's one of the most encouraging things to realize. You're not stuck with where you are right now. So how do you keep going, especially on those days when you're just not feeling it? Start with kindness. Be gentle with yourself. Maybe you take a shorter walk today, or you skip the strength session and stretch instead. That's okay. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about staying in motion. One step, one breath, one small commitment at a time. And if you ever feel alone in the process, just remember that there are thousands, millions, even of people in your same shoes working toward the same goal. To feel good, to stay strong, and to enjoy life to the fullest. You're part of that community now. Whether you're out walking on your own, lifting light weights in the living room, or just learning and making plans, you're already doing something meaningful. Now, if you're looking for a little inspiration to keep going, try keeping a small journal. Nothing fancy, just a few lines a day. Write down how you felt after your walk or after finishing your strength routine. Did you sleep better? Did you have more energy? Did your knees feel a little less stiff? These notes can become powerful reminders when motivation dips. They're proof that your efforts are working, even when the progress feels slow. And don't underestimate the mental and emotional benefits of movement. Strength training builds confidence. It reminds you what your body can do, not what it can't. And walking clears the mind. It gives you space to think, breathe, and reconnect with yourself. Together, they create not just physical strength, but emotional resilience too. That's something we all need. I also want to remind you, this isn't about rules or routines you have to follow. It's about creating a rhythm that feels good. Some people enjoy walking every morning as a kind of meditation before the day begins. Others like to do a little strength work in the evening, almost like a winding down ritual. There's no wrong way to do it. There's just your way. What matters is that you find your own balance, something sustainable, enjoyable, and flexible. Maybe it's walking 3 times a week and doing strength training twice. Or maybe it's walking daily and doing a short strength session every other day. Adjust as you go. Listen to your body. Let it guide you. And when it comes to strength training, don't forget how many simple tools you already have. A wall, a chair, a pair of soup cans, or water bottles. These can all be used for safe, effective exercises. You don't need a gym to build a strong, capable body. You just need consistency, patience, and a little encouragement along the way. So here's your gentle reminder. You're not too old to get stronger. You're not too late to make a change. And you certainly don't have to do it all at once. Even if you just start by adding 5 extra minutes of walking to your day, or trying 1 or 2 strength movements a few times a week, you're setting something in motion, something beautiful. And trust me, your future self will thank you. If this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite way to stay active? Do you enjoy walking with a friend? Or do you have a strength routine that works well for you? Let's make the comments a place where we can share, encourage, and inspire each other. Because it's never too late to build a stronger, healthier, happier life. And if you found this video helpful or motivating, go ahead and give it a like. It helps others find the video too. And be sure to subscribe if you like more simple, uplifting content focused on staying strong, active, and independent after 60. We're building a little community here. One where aging isn't something to fear, but something to embrace. Where strength isn't just about muscle, but about confidence, clarity, and joy. So here's to your strength, however it looks, wherever you are on the journey. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep showing up for yourself. Because you deserve to feel good in your body. You deserve to feel proud of what you can do. And most of all, you deserve to live this chapter of your life with energy, ease, and a whole lot of joy. Here's to living well, walking tall, and staying strong at every age. If you're still with me here, I want you to take a deep breath and give yourself some credit. Just the fact that you're watching this, thinking about your health, and exploring how to move better, it says a lot about you. It says you care. It says you're open to learning. And it says you're not settling for a life of just getting by. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked when we talk about exercise after 60. It's not just about muscles, bones, or burning calories. It's about connection. Staying active keeps us connected to our bodies, to our sense of purpose, and often to other people. Whether it's joining a walking group in your neighborhood, exercise with a friend over video call, or just chatting with someone on your daily stroll, movement can be a bridge to meaningful relationships. And those connections, they do wonders for our emotional well-being. Because loneliness isn't just uncomfortable, it can actually harm your health more than you might think. That's why combining movement with community, even in small ways, is such a powerful act of self-care. Imagine getting stronger and building friendships at the same time. That's not a chore. That's a gift. And here's another piece of this conversation that doesn't get enough attention. Joy. Yes, movement should feel good. It shouldn't be punishment. It doesn't have to be boring or something you dread. If your walk includes beautiful scenery, music you love, or just a chance to clear your thoughts, it becomes something to look forward to. If your strength training includes laughter, a little music, and progress you can actually feel, it becomes deeply rewarding. That's when it sticks. When it becomes part of who you are, not just something you have to do. Now, I know that for some people, the hardest part isn't the exercise itself. It's starting. It's breaking through the old stories we tell ourselves. Like, I'm too old for this, or I've never been athletic, or it's too late for me. Let me gently remind you, those are just stories, and stories can be rewritten. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. Your body is wiser than you realize. It's been carrying you for decades. It knows how to heal, how to grow, and how to adapt. All it needs is a little attention and a little love. That's it. And look, I get that starting something new can feel intimidating. But the beautiful thing about walking and strength training is that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to lift heavy weights or walk for miles. You just need to begin in your own way, at your own pace. Even if that means standing up from your chair and sitting back down 5 times. That's a squat. That's strength training. Even if it means walking to the mailbox and back. That's movement. That's momentum. One day turns into 2. A week turns into a month. And before you know it, you're doing things you didn't think were possible. And please, don't underestimate the inspiration you can be to others. When your grandkids see you lifting light weights or taking your daily walk, they see resilience. They see someone who values their body, their time, and their life. You're not just changing your story. You might be helping someone else rewrite theirs too. So what do you say? Can today be the day you take that first? Or next step? Maybe it's a short walk around the block. Maybe it's standing tall and rolling your shoulders back. Maybe it's holding onto the kitchen counter and doing a few gentle leg lifts. Whatever it is, let it come from a place of self-respect, not obligation. Let it feel like an act of kindness toward your future self. And if you're already active, let this be your reminder that what you're doing matters. That every step, every stretch, every lift is a form of celebration, of life, of movement, of you. I hope today's video has helped you feel a little more encouraged, a little more empowered, and maybe even a little more excited about what's possible. Because whether you walk, lift, or do a bit of both, what really matters is that you're choosing to move forward. And that's something worth celebrating. If this video made you think, smile, or breathe a little deeper, I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. What's been your experience with walking or strength training? Is there something you're working on right now? I love hearing your stories. And you never know who your comment might inspire. And if you haven't already, go ahead and give this video a like. It helps others find it too. And don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting content designed to help you stay strong, healthy, and happy well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. This channel is all about showing that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean rising up with grace, with confidence, and with strength. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Keep walking, keep lifting, keep showing up, because you are worth the effort. You are stronger than you think. And your best years, they're still unfolding. Here's to you, moving well, living fully, and embracing every step of the journey.